All right, well, welcome to English Community. My name is Christian. Today we're going to talk about my first interview in English. I'm going to share with you a couple of things, useful things like my experiences working with international companies, and as well, a couple of things that you can keep in mind whenever you're going to go to the embassy, to the U.S. Embassy. All right, welcome. Well, here we go. First of all, we're going to make a division right here into main aspects. The first aspect we are going to talk about is main questions and answers, and on the other hand, tips and advice. Well, finally, in tips and advice, I'm going to talk about the CV. What the CV is? Well, the curriculum vitae. So, in Spanish, well, your resume. Okay, welcome. Let's go ahead and check this out. So, what is better nowadays, specifically? So, what type of job are you going to apply? This question is super important because you may know nowadays you can either go freelance or you can work with a company. So, both ways are good. Of course, the stability that a company can offer you nowadays is great. But on the other hand, make branding, which is something we are going to talk about. Well, we're going to talk a lot about this branding. What is branding exactly? How you can sell yourself to others, specifically companies or customers. Because if you're going to try the freelance, you have to keep in mind that actually it's not going to be an easy path to take. So it's going to have a lot of things. So, well, vocabulary we are going to use today to make ends meet, which is pretty much what that you don't have enough money. And because of that, you need a sideline or side hustle, which means an extra job. So something extra that you are going to do to, well, get earnings and then make your month. So accustomed. So pretty much that means getting familiar with something. A creative balance is another topic we are going to talk a little bit. And grind. Okay, what exactly is a creative balance? Is pretty much what like the concept says, a good mix of doing creative and uncreative tasks. So creative balance. So, and finally, the grind, sorry. What is that exactly? Pretty much when you are doing something super boring, something that doesn't make you feel happy about it, but you have to do it because let's say it's your job. So it's getting money to your pockets, probably. So those are concepts we're going to use today. Well, let's go ahead and let's get down to business. This is a common question. You might be able to find, well, a lot of videos about this in YouTube or in Vimeo or whatever you wanted to, even articles or a lot of things regarding this. Tell me about yourself. This is a common question you're going to find, ladies, in an interview. So I have three specific tips that I would like to share with you in my case that actually worked for me a lot. First of all, whenever somebody's asking you to talk about yourself, try to be concrete. Try to be, well, super specific. Try to get to the point, that's super important. So, on the other hand, don't talk about your family. I mean, if the listener, if the person that, the recruiter, the interviewer is asking you, it's about you. I mean, why you have to talk about your family? I mean, in this specific cases, try to keep it as professional as you can. Professional. As professional as you can. If somebody's asking you regarding yourself, that person is expecting from you information such as, let's say, I'm a teacher. I've been working in this profession for around 11 years. I've been working with different cultures. I've been working with different countries as well. So I know how to handle people. Things like this. Super simple. It's concrete. It's specific because, well, that person can realize that actually you have the experience they are looking for, let's say. In that case, for teachers. But what about, let's say, I don't know, another profession. But in this case, what is specific and what actually matters is besides or regardless the profession or regardless the interview. What matters is that you are specific, that you are concrete, that you are not jumping around, with different things. You are going straight to the point, and you are not talking about your family. You're going to talk about your profession. So, on the other hand, and final topic is make sure you do enough research about the company or client or customer you're going to work. Things such as the core values. So in this part, I'm talking about in both sides. For example, if you're going to be an employee or if you're going to be a freelancer. So that depends. Regardless what you're going to do in a professional way or in a personal way, well, regardless the perspective, what matters is that you know who you're going to work with. Who's that person or who's that company? So enough research means that you really investigate, that you really gather important information regarding the company. So I just want to know, ladies, before I move, is there any question regarding this topic? Like I said before, so be concrete, no more than 5 minutes. If you can be more concrete, you can be more concise in that part, and less than 5 minutes, it would be great. What matters is that you include, the relevant information that they are expecting from you. So don't talk about your family. This is a really fail right there. And finally, that you know enough about the company. You know what are the core values. You know what are the strategies for coming years. That you know that actually what that company is looking for, or actually, projects or any other topic. I don't know. So any question right here? Anything that would you like to ask? So your silence can be taken as a yes, no questions. Or there any question? Is there any question, ladies? No questions?
Teacher, I I want to know if, for example, I can say I live with my parents or my husband, my children. Can I say that, or
No,
that
it's not
is never
necessary.
to talk
Like I
about
said
my
before,
family?
try never to talk about this. I mean, your family is important, and it's part, of course, that you as a person, but in this specific way, I mean, whenever they are asking you about yourself, unless they are asking you, tell me about your family, that's different, completely different. But if they are not asking you for this, they are looking for information about you as a professional. Lily, you have a question. Thank you,
Yes,
Sandra.
teacher, but what include to talk about me? My name, my hobbies, my work, what
No,
more?
no, 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 no. In that case, whenever they are asking you for your specific profile, they are asking you, well, who are you in a professional way? So let's say in my case, so who is Chris? Chris, tell me about yourself. Well, about me, well, I'm a goal-oriented person that I like to work in team. I don't have any problem meeting deadlines. So I'm a competitive person, actually. And actually, on the other hand, I like to be, as I am, a people person. I like to talk with persons. I like to handle with them. I try to be a leader in some way, but I always hear the others. Something like this, something that talks about you. I'm not saying, hey, I like sleep a lot because, well, that's not going to help you in an interview. Or things like, I like to play video games. No, or I like to procrastinate. Well, that's not gonna work. Something really specific about you as a professional. So I'm a leader. We are going to talk about soft skills, which is something super important, but it's gonna be a little bit later on. So I hope that answers those questions. Never talk about your hobbies. I mean, that's not relevant. I mean, probably it is. Just if the interviewer is asking you for this. If they are not, don't do it. Just be specific with the things in a professional way. All right. Well, let's keep going. Okay. employment information. This is the hot topic. So whenever I was saying that you should find useful information that you can use in your interview about the company or the customer or the client you're going to work with, they are, well, expecting that you know what is the possible position that you're going to apply for. So tell them how you listen about the company, something that matters. Try don't never to say that I heard from you in Facebook or in YouTube or something. No, try to be like, no, I got it in a friend of mine just told me about your company, or found in a headhunter website, let's say, or I found information in the newspaper. But don't try to say, well, I found information in Instagram, even though that they are using Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, because that's the way to capture people. That's the way that they actually will get, you know, um, potentials. So don't try to use, well, social network for this. I suggest strongly, I recommend never ever try to, well, tell them, hey, I get your information from Facebook or from Instagram or for TikTok, or whatever the social network is. So Facebook or those stuff was not gonna work in this part. So make sure to know all the information of the position. You should be prepared, you should be ready for whatever is coming in that specific scenario. If they are asking for a salesman, they are expecting that you know about the position and that you know what they're expecting from you. So, expectations. So, it's valid by the end of every conversation that you would like to know more about the company. Probably you make your own research. Probably you try to find things in newspaper or on TV, or a friend of yours will share, like I said, information about the company. But always is important to know, well, more about the company. So things like what is the most rewarding part of working with this company is something that is super valid, and it's actually something that you might be asking, because it's something that that person is going to feel that you are really interested. This guy is really interested in working with this company, so why not? um, Employment information. So questions in this specific section of the conversation today. Any question right here that you like to ask? Nope. If no, well, I'm going to keep going to the next slide. So here we go. Next option, weird questions and role plays. This is something super common you're going to find in your interviews, weird questions. Weird questions and role plays. So what a weird question is, pretty much. So a weird question is something like this. Check this out. This first question right here. What would you do if you have choose from an old lady or a young one to save one of her lives? Another one here. Check this out. If you were a tree, what kind of tree would you be and why? Check this other. You've been given an elephant. You can't give it away or sell it. What would you do with that elephant? So those are tricky and weird questions. So, for example, if I'm asking to Sandra, let me ask you this. If we finish the interview and you step outside the office and find a lottery ticket that ends up winning $10 million, what would you do? Or Lily, who would like to answer that question? Keep in mind that there's no valid questions or invalid questions. Sorry, valid answers or invalid answers. So there are just answers. That's it. There's no incorrect or correct in this case. There are just answers. regardless what you're going to say about this, regardless what you're going to say about this or this, your question is going to, these questions are actually open in order for you to think about it. So, like I said before, there are no incorrect or correct answer, sorry. Whatever you're gonna say about this is valid. What these persons are looking for actually with this type of questions is pretty much how authentic you can be, how unique, how unique you can be with the answer. So a quick answer for this, it would be, if I find that ticket with $10 million, wow, I will travel around the world. Why not? That's unique. That's who you really are. I mean, you're not going to say, I'm going to stay working with your company no matter what. That's not going to happen. Oh my God, this is reality. Even if this is a fake question, reality is, it is what it is. If you find this ticket, you will be purchasing a lot of stuff. You will be traveling around the world. You will be doing a lot of stuff. So, finally here, role plays. That's something super common for teachers and for, let's say, call centers. So role plays is the most important part right there, because they are going to have situations, they are going to give you type of customers, and they are going to give you potential solutions that you can provide to all those things. Situations, well, you should be super concentrated. I mean, extremely, because undivided attention to detail is what matters. On the other hand, you should be paying attention to what the customer is going to be. If it is an easygoing customer, or if it is going to be an angry customer, or let's say on the other way around, if it is an angry learner. So what is going to happen? How you're going to handle with this? How you're going to deal with a situation like that? What these persons are looking for is how you're going to finally find a potential solution for this stuff. I mean, you should be something, well, you should be realistic. You should be positive mind and open mind in a situation like this. Even if it is a game, don't make promises you cannot take, because you're going to end up, well, having, or just, showing an impression that you wouldn't like to. So that's important. Keep in mind, well, these weird questions are looking for unique answers, not the specific answers like something robotic. I mean, they understand you're humans, so they understand we have a lot of things in our minds, but they are looking for unique answers. And here in role plays, pretty much they are looking for that you are creative, that you are, this type of person they are looking for that actually can, with probably low resources, find a solution for something. So keep that in mind. So let me ask you something super quick. Is there any question right here in this specific point before I move on? No questions? Mm-hmm. Yes? Mm-hmm. Who is talking? Lily?
Teacher, it's common that in an interview the person make this kind of where question for us.
It's not that common, but in my case, it's happening in every single interview. Well, at least I see one of them. Believe me, it's super weird. That's super weird questions, but that can happen. So, whenever you're trying to find a position with an American company, things like this are going to be on the table for sure. It's not quite common, but that could happen. So, like I said before, there are not right or wrong answers. They are just answers. All they are waiting for is that you are unique with your answer, that you are transparent, that you have integrity, saying what would you really do about it. Okay, so be honest, be transparent with the situation. So they are expecting that from you guys. On the other hand, role plays are super common nowadays because, as you know, the main focus right now is being a customer focused, because that's what make difference the companies right now. So right now, even that the company has a huge budget, regardless that they actually need customers to survive in this capitalism. So keep that in mind. So, well, let's go to the following topic. Here we go. Well, I like this part because that's something that will actually make you think a lot. So, how I work on daily basis and how I work with my clients. So, important to know the soft skills. So, soft skills like what? I'm a people person. I have communicative skills. Hard skills is something that you already have. If you are, let's say, a professional in technology, in tech, well, they are expecting that you know about Java or these, coding things, because you might know these from the academy, But soft skills are something completely different. Soft skills is something that you have and you can transfer to others, like that you are a leader, let's say, or that you are a person that can easily receive feedback, or that you can provide coach, that you know how to approach situations, persons, how to deal with situations, that you know how to work under pressure. This is something that the companies are waiting from you, that okay, I'm aware of my soft skills and I am aware as well of my weaknesses, let's say. Soft skills are many, but really many. So, on the other hand, they are looking for what exactly you can do for this company. So, for example, I'm going to give you a quick example right here because this is a really small, this is really a huge thing to talk about. What you can offer to this company, regardless the company, what matters, and I said it before, is that actually you are transparent. So, for example, in my case, the last interview that I had, it was at the beginning of the year. And the company, the interviewer was asking me about the same thing. So I see that you have potential. You're a good person, man. I like to talk with you. But what else do you have to offer to the company that others cannot do it? So my answer was like, wow, this is a really tricky question. I can tell it's a really tricky question. But if you are asking me, and if you really would like to hear my opinion about it, the best answer that I can give you would be this. I know how it is to work with a company. In other words, I know how it is to wake up every morning, and don't know where the company is going to be, because the company depends on you, depends on your positive mind, depends on that you're going to be a person that is going to go the extra mile, So integrity. I can offer your company integrity, because regardless you are seeing what I'm doing, or if you are not seeing what I'm doing, I'm going to be doing the right thing. That's what is going to be different with me and the others, because probably the others have different soft skills and stuff, but the others don't have this integrity and this knowledge of the market that I know. So that's the way it is. Always try to look for your potential on something. Always you have something to offer to the others or to the company. you know, or to your customer or to your client. So you have different things to offer that make you different from others. So always keep in mind that if you don't know what is in you, you know, different from others, try to make a list. Have a piece of paper and start writing down, okay, why I'm different, or why I'm gonna be better in this company than others. So keep it in mind. Like I said, make the exercise. Take a piece of paper, start writing down what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, and how you can work about it. All right? Well, give me a couple of seconds here, please. Okay, so now we are going to talk about strengths and weaknesses. These specific topics. Strengths, well, always keep it professional. What are your strong points as a professional? Like I said before, whenever you're talking about this, don't try to use your hobbies, or I'm good at, I don't know, video games or something like this, because that could be a strength, yeah, probably, but not in real world as a professional. Keep that in mind, okay? On the other hand, we have the weaknesses. I have a good advice for you ladies in here, because whenever you introduce a weakness, always, all right, always try to give an explanation how you can improve, how you can get that better, how it could be better. I'm going to give an example in here, specifically for weaknesses. So one of my interviews, I had a chance to talk with a person, and this interviewer was asking me, tell me about, well, this. And this is super common in an interview, actually. So what was my, what actually would be my answer in a situation like this? So what was the answer back then? It's been, I remember it's been like 2 years, probably 3 years. It was when it was back in the time when I was trying to find a position in the bank, in the Canadian bank that I told you I've been working for. So these days, well, preparing this information for you ladies, I remember, well, what was the answer? I was writing down this for you. So, well, I said to the interviewer, one of my weaknesses is that I am aware that sometimes I have hard time saying no to others. So, because I have this problem saying no to others, unfortunately, um, because I'm new, well, it's hard for me to say no to my colleagues at work. Being honest with you, well, that brings me a lot of stress. That brings me a lot of it was an internal conflict, actually. So because by the end of the day, well, that ends up taking on more that I can handle. Of course, I've been working to improve, and nowadays I'm using the different tools, software specifically. I don't know if you're familiar with project management from Microsoft, or Monday is another good software. Monday, oh, come on, it's not writing down. Monday or project management. I'm going to just put it right like this. Project management. Those are two different softwares. With this, you can know how much work you have at any specific moment of the month. And you can take decisions. If you can take more job, you know, if you can put a stress to your job or not. This is software, well, are great. Believe me, they are amazing. So whenever you are showing something that is a weak point from your perspective or from anybody else's perspective, always try to give a positive option right there as well. because that's going to help you ladies to show that you actually are doing something to improve, to be better. And that's what actually matters. All right? That's what actually matters nowadays. I forgot that I didn't have the camera on. All right. Well, that's for weaknesses. That's for strengths. I would like to know the same thing. I've been asking the whole presentation. Is there any questions at this point? Any questions at this point of the conversation? Any questions about strengths? Any questions about weaknesses? Or any questions about anything? I mean, in general. Sandra, Lily, any questions about it? Or we're good so far? All good? Is that clear, the concept of strengths? I mean, whenever you're talking about strengths, you might be talking about something super specific about your professional career, about you as a professional, and weaknesses as well, the same thing, in a professional way, and how you can improve, how you can get that weakness or that weak point better off. Any question? Any question right now? Sandra, Lily, tell me. If not questions, all good. Let's keep going. Okay. Here we go. Let's go ahead and check this here. Well, whenever a recruiter or an interviewer is asking you to share a challenging situation in your personal or professional life, that's a common question that you're going to find a lot. Things like, tell me about a time that you had this, awful situation or challenging situation with your life or doing your job. So that's super common. Like I said, here in interviews, it's common get these questions. Be creative, saying your story that could be about how you sort out a difficult situation, how you fix a difficult situation. So always have a positive mind. So positive words like great, wonderful, amazing, sounds good, that's gonna help you a lot to give the impression you are looking for. And even though that you are showing that you have a bad situation or a challenging situation, that probably you handle in a proper way, or probably you handle that in a not proper way, having a positive mind about the situation, do not blame anybody on that. Keep always yourself and don't blame that it was your colleague's fault, it was the company's fault. Never blame anybody, because if you start blaming, they are going to get a bad impression from you. And believe me, it's going to be bad. That's going to be the worst thing you can do. So never blame. Never. Blame? No, never. So don't do it that way. Always keep a positive mind. So even though my colleagues had something to do with it, we work together and we fix it together. So let me give you an example. I remember back in the time that actually I've been co-working with somebody. I was making a team with somebody in the bank, and actually we had a report to show. And because not on my side, but my colleague's side, he didn't do it. And the deadline, I could be wrong, but it was 2 days from that point in time, pretty much. It was really bad because the report was going to the management. So my impression and my feelings back then were like, oh my God, I had to do this alone. This guy is not going to do anything. So even though to management doesn't matter, I mean, your boss is not gonna say, okay, it was somebody else's fault, but you are the face of the project. So what now? Are you gonna fix it, or are you going to start blaming somebody else? So whenever you're having a bad situation or a person that is not actually doing what they are supposed to, never blame anybody. On the other hand, look for a solution or look for another way to get it done. Because what matters in this life is not excuses. What matters in this life is how you get done things. If you have a dream, you cannot blame anybody else for your dream is not becoming real. It's up to you to get it done. It's up to you to get this uh, a possible option, something that you can actually make real. Well, keep that in mind. Never blame anybody. Whenever you have to share a challenging situation with somebody else, never blame anybody. Always have a positive mind. That's going to help you a lot. One more time. Is there any question at this point right here? No questions at all?
Teacher,
Hmm?
about this challenging situation is, for example, similar to the weird questions. For example, that they give you a specific situation and you have to answer, or that is in
That's
order to tell me, teacher,
no, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Complete the idea.
or that is, for example, that at work when you are working or
Yeah,
only in the interviews.
exactly. So in this specific thing, challenging situation is when you are giving, to the listener in a specific situation that you had, something real that you have, and how you fix it. What they are expecting from you is how you fix this, how you let's say you have this angry customer who was cursing at you, who was yelling at you, who was really bad. How you turn this situation out into something positive. For example, that person starts, like I said, being super rude, super aggressive with you, and then you listen to that person, you get that person to his or her senses, and then that person understands that the situation is not against you, that you are part of a big company, and that you are looking for a solution. That's a challenging situation, something that is real and that you are sharing with somebody else. The weird questions, it's how you can be creative, offering solutions in something hypothetical. But this is real. Challenging situations are real. Weird questions is something like fiction, It's not real. Is better? Is clear, Sandra?
Yes, teacher, thank you.
Amazing. Okay. Well, let's keep going. We are about to finish the lesson today. What would you like this job? This is another good question they will be asking you. So I have here just two simple things: the don'ts and the do's. Don'ts for money. Oh, I have no option. I mean, you have to be honest, yeah, but never say for money. Never. That's forbidden. Or I have no option. It's a pandemic. We have an outbreak right here in my country. I have no option. I really need the job. I mean, we understand we are desperate for some financial situations. We are in an economic crisis. We are going through a lot of stuff, but they wouldn't like to hear that from you. So, on the other hand, this no. These ones, yes. Career goals. I would like to build my career with you. I find in your core values that you are looking for a better future for all of us, like let's say a society, or let's say as a country. So, career goals, something that they are going to really appreciate from you. Saying it like, I investigate and I found that your core values include something that is, let's say, for instance, transparency, sorry, with society. So, for instance, I agree with that. I like to be transparent with everything, with my profession, with my family, with everything. So I agree with that. And that goes exactly the way I looking for to become a better person and a better professional. So I like that. So career goals. On the other hand, grow up with the company. As I said before, make that company your part of your family, let's say, in other words. So do this, don't do this, never in your life. Never say that you are looking for that job for money, because that's not going to give a good impression from you to the interviewer, to the listener. It's not going to work. It's not going to work, believe me. So every single word you're saying, because well, right now the interviews are different than before. So let's say last year, for instance, September, you have the chance to go to an office or to go to a building and participate, let's say in group or alone, I don't know, well, in interviews. But right now it's different. I mean, right now we're talking about that if you're looking for a job, for example, and if you would like to apply, like I said before at the beginning of the video lesson, if you're looking for a job in, let's say, I don't know, for instance, Canada or any other country, the interview is gonna be through a video channel. So either Zoom or Meet or I don't know, Skype or Microsoft Teams, whatever it is. So every single word you're saying could be against you. So be super careful with your words and never say things like this. Never. Questions in this specific section. Ladies, Lily, Sandra, is there any question that I could give you an answer, that I can try to figure it out something for you in here? Anything? Nope. You sure, ladies? All clear? If all clear, let's move on to the next stage. All right. So what do we have here? Curriculum vitae. So what is this specifically? Your CV or resume. Well, here I'm gonna give you a couple of tips how you can make a good resume, how you can make about you in your CV. So always, one more time, be specific. Use tools such as Grammarly, which is amazing for you to make, let's say, well, paragraphs like this. That helps you a lot by giving you tools, by giving you ideas how you can structure in a concrete way things like your career, your goals, and your commitment as a professional. So I'm going to read this for you super quick. So I consider myself a goal-oriented. I can fit easily in groups in order to meet targets assigned and collaborate with others. I'm currently working with Scotiabank in revolving credit team, but I also run and help my family business where I have been making analysis of the market and pricing of baby clots for Bogota and Boyacá for over 3 years. I take care of appropriate solutions to situations that may arise with chain supply management of our products under deliveries. Well, etc., etc., etc. So try to be specific and go exactly to the point. It's like a timeline. So I start in this point, and then you cannot jump around like this point and then go back and then again to this point and then no, that's not gonna work. It should be something specific, something in order. So I start this point and then I'm moving to this point and then I'm moving to this point and then so on, so on, so on, and finally I got here. So that's pretty much the way it is. Check this out. I love the idea to contribute with kids' progress. as well as their personal and professional development. I have enough background working with children, and nowadays I'm an active member of my community, helping young people reaching their goals and improving their skills in English language. That's pretty much what part of another part of me, as a professional. And like I said before, my commitment as a professional with the community. That's something that they would like to hear. Why? Because they like to know that you are part of something, that you like this idea, to help others without any rewarding, without any compensation, more than the satisfaction that you are a human being and you are providing something to others. So that's what matters. That's what actually matters. If they are asking you, for example, would you like to get this job? And you say yes, and they say something like, would you do this for free? That's a real question. So if I'm asking you, ladies, would you like what you do right now in your life? And you say, yes, I like that, the way my life it is. Do you like your work? Yes, I do. Would you do that for free? If the question is yes, you are doing the right thing. But if the question is, well, probably not, well, probably you have to look for another thing to do. That's the thing. Everything in this life is moving by passion. If you have passion for something, if you love what you're doing, that's what matters, regardless how much you're getting, regardless how many hours you're spending a day. What matters is that you are satisfied, that you feel compensated just for the fact that you're doing what you really love. Well, that's what matters. Keep it in mind. All right. Educational achievements. In your CV, always you should include what your career is. If you have any extras, I call it like this, like courses, seminars, etc., etc., etc. So you should include this. Be organized with this. Any course that you have, whatever it is, no matter the small, no matter the irrelevant that you might think it is, it's important. And that makes a difference with others. If you know how to handle Photoshop, for example, that can give you a boost. That's a plus. And that's something that is good. If you know how to handle Excel in an advanced level, that's a plus as well. Even if you don't have a course for this, but you know how to do it. That's something that is going to make a difference with others. So always keep that in mind in your educational achievements. Regardless, you don't have, this title, or you don't have this certificate, or you didn't graduate on that matter, doesn't matter. What matters is that you know this, that you have the knowledge, and you can prove it. Never lie on this. Never say, yeah, I know how to handle Excel, but if they are going to make a test on you and you don't know how to handle Excel at all, it's going to be bad. It's going to be bad, and they are not going to get back to you anymore in life. And on the other hand, they can possibly provide feedback to other companies like that you are a liar. And then, well, you're going to lose a lot of opportunities. If you don't know how to do it, don't say it. Simple as that. Keep it simple. That's the way it is. If you don't know how to do it, don't do it. Why I'm gonna lie for something like this? So not necessarily. If you know how to do it in a basic level, be honest. Yeah, I know how to handle Excel, but basic level. Anyway, I can learn. I'm a fast learner, so if you need it, I can do it for you as well. So always. Okay. Finally here, what do we have? Reviews from clients or from other companies. Always include this in your CVs. And of course, try to, let them know, let's say if you're going to refer to a supervisor that you used to have in another company, make sure that that person is aware that somebody else has been calling regarding your performance. Because if they are not aware and they are asking, I'm calling because of Sandra. Do you remember she has been working here? She was working there for a year. Sandra? I don't know any Sandra. What are you talking about? Sorry, just want to confirm. Sorry for bothering you. Have a great day. Blah, blah, blah. and then you lose that chance. So always keep in touch with them. Let them know, hey, I'm looking for this job, and I really appreciate if you can give a good advice regarding my performance on this, on that. So always let them know they are going to be contacted. So that's the way it is. And well, finally, references, personal. I suggest always professional references. Like if you have, I don't know, a lawyer or an attorney or a doctor, something professional, well, somebody professional, sorry. Always professional. Well, you can put here your mother, your mom. Yeah, that would work. This is not a big deal. What matters is that, well, those references are, something that is relevant as well for the job. If you're applying for, one more time, let's say a teacher, well, it would be better if you put here as a reference another teacher with probably more experience than you, let's say, or I don't know, a manager in a specific thing, well, something that actually is going to make a difference, something that is going to really make an impact, that's going to really, well, make this good and positive impact in the other person. So hey, look at this is a doctor, this is a lawyer, so you are surrounded for a great people. You can put your mother, yeah, it's not gonna be a big deal, but what matters is that you try. If you're looking for a position as a professor in another country, we'll try to include here professors as well. It's going to help you a lot. Well, this is it. Well, as I always says, you can contact me in WhatsApp. You can visit my Facebook here, or you can email me if you needed more advice regarding these interview things. So, well, finally here, I would like to share, well, how it's been my experience. And whenever, well, I had the chance this year actually to go to the embassy, the American embassy, and finally I got my visa. And actually that visa is for 5 years, so I'm super happy about it. I'm not happy because, well, the pandemic, the pandemic is not helping at all. So unfortunately, well, I got it. I had an amazing interview, and but anyway, I cannot use it. So it's like, it's bad. I don't like it. But well, I would like to know, ladies, if you have any question right now at this point regarding how would be, well, the embassy interview. So tell me. I'm all ears for you. Tell me about it. Any question regarding how could be an embassy interview? Specifically, well, the American embassy, the United States embassy. Sandra, Lily, anything?
Teacher, is there an order when we write our curriculum vitae, or we can write it as we want?
Well, it's better if you start like it with the order. Like, first of all, who are you? Second, your, well, educational achievements, and finally, or not finally, I mean, the, well, how's your background? I mean, how you, well, the companies you've been working for, and the order that I put right there is the order that I suggest that you can do it. It's going to be organized, and it's going to be, well, concrete. It's going to get to the point. It's going to be easy for the person. So don't try to put like 20 sheets, 20 pages, of stuff, because it's going to be boring. So try to be like I said, well, the whole thing, the whole video, try to be concrete, try to be specific, go to the point. 3 pages will be enough. Yes, well, that's the order. Personal things, educational things, your background, regards, well, the business or the companies you've been working for, references, professional references is going to help you a lot. Any reviews from your customers or the companies you've been working for would help a lot as well. Yes, well, finally here for the embassy, I would like to share with you, ladies, the following. If you have any question right here, well, more than happy to answer that question. Nope. Anything? Would you like to ask about the embassy? No, I guess no. It's all right. Well, the best way for you to get, sorry, Sandra, you're going to say something?
I don't know how to say that, but for example, about embassies, when we ask for the visa,
For the visa, yes. For the visa.
teaching
So,
a teacher,
mhm.
and it is so difficult to get it.
Well, that depends. I mean, in the way that I did it the first time that I visited, it was like for tourists, and it was super hard because in my case specifically, I have no wife, I have no kids, I have no possessions, let's say, in some sort. Like, I'm not a landlord, let's say. I don't have an apartment. Well, I have my stuff, but that's not enough. Not enough for them to prove that I'm going to return to my country as soon as I finish my business there, let's say. So they thought, well, they're always looking for potential illegals, let's say, in some way. Like, for example, in my case, the first time that I submit my application through the embassy, it was well, I was working. I've been working with the bank for more than well, for a couple of months, actually, like 6 months. So I got this letter, like a recommendation letter or something, and I show this. I show that, well, where it's gonna be. I'm gonna be in this hotel. I'm gonna be. Um, I have my work here, so I really love the idea to go to the United States for a couple of days. And actually, it was a couple of days. So whenever they are gonna give you a visa, it's gonna be for 6 months, from my understanding. Probably a little bit more, but I don't know the times, to be honest with you. But well, so they found that strange in some way, and unfortunately they told me, no, your visa has been denied, I'm so sorry, and here's a letter. They give you like a letter that explains the reasons you're giving to go to United States doesn't match with your interview. And it was like super confusing for me, like, what? What do you mean? I'm going as a tourist a couple of days and then I'm gonna be back in my country. My family is waiting for me. My job is waiting for me. The university is waiting for me. I'm not gonna leave everything behind just for being in the United States. I mean, doing nothing. I don't have a job. I don't have family. I don't have anything right there. Doesn't make any sense. That was the first time. The second time, I was super prepared. I was like, I had, first of all, an interview with a company, the one that I was, well, I'm supposed to be working in that company right now, but well, I'm at home in Colombia still. So, well, whatever. So the second time, it was better because I had this recommendation letter. I had, well, more knowledge regarding how to, well, express myself in regards to, well, what I'm looking for is this. I'm going to be working with this company. It was super easy because I had a job and I had a contract. So what matters in an interview like this is that you are prepared, first of all, where you're going, what you're going to do, what do you have in this country that basically is going to make you return at some point. So be super honest with this. So I have my career here. If I go to your country, I don't have any career there. I don't have anything to do because I'm not professional. So I have to return because my studies are undone here. I have an undone business in Colombia or in my country, for example. So always be clear with that information. Use things like, first of all, this is the first reason. Second of all, the second reason, sorry. On the other hand, I was saying, I would like to go to your country because of business, let's say. And here in Colombia, well, there are many things that are going to make me return at some point because I'm going to need my family, I'm going to need my study, I'm going to need, well, a job to have, well, money to support, well, everything, well, whatever. So always be honest. Always try to be like relaxed because if they feel you're nervous or something, they're gonna find something weird on you. And actually, it's super stressing, the idea of having this conversation with a counsel. But anyways, kind of chill. It depends on you, entirely on you. Be confident. Like I said before, be concrete. Just say what they are asking you for. If they say, where are you going? I'm going to the United States, specifically to this state. Let's say, I don't know, I'm going to Chicago, for example, for instance, Chicago or something. But be
Wow.
specific with that, okay?
Okay.
All right, ladies. It's been really a pleasure. Any comments that you have, you can WhatsApp me, you can email me if you wanted to. Remember, my name is Christian, and today in English Community Review, my first interview. So, have an amazing night, ladies. Bye-bye, bye-bye. Take care, take care.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye, teacher.
Really a
Thank you so
pleasure. Take
much.
care.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.